Let's talk about overcoming objections. You guys know where I stand. I am a big proponent. I preach eliminate objections, eliminate objections, eliminate objections, eliminate the objection before it even becomes an objection. If you already know it's coming, why not bring it up first and eliminate it? That's what I do first. And that is my game. That is my strategy. That is how I close deals with the close rate that I have, which is ridiculous because I already know that's coming. So I eliminate it, right? I've talked about this before. Today, I want to talk about, you screwed up. You missed a step. You missed an objection. Now we got to overcome it. That's what I'll talk about today. But first, just so you guys, if you didn't know, I apologize. I didn't introduce myself. My name is Nick Wood. I am the king of digital real estate. You heard it here first, folks. And today, that's exactly what I want to share. I have done a lot of sales. Now, I want to say this so that some of you guys that have never done sales don't get spooked out and think, I need sales experience or I'm not a salesperson. Good. Welcome to the club. Everybody in my program, with the exception of a few people, okay, doesn't have sales experience, isn't comfortable doing sales, doesn't like the sales part, is more technical, is introverted, all the above, has, English is their second language, everything you could think of why this wouldn't work. They all have it and they're all having success. Okay. So don't stress and go, well, I need the sales experience to be able to close deals. No, you don't. Okay. Now, if you have it, is it going to hurt? No, it's going to be fine. It's going to be great. It's going to help you, but doesn't mean in order to make money, in order to start closing, that you need it. It's not a prerequisite. Okay. You can do this with zero sales experience. And my two little brothers, they both have done this. They both are making money. And one of them has a little bit of sales experience. The other one has never done anything besides help my dad on the farm. And he is making $7,500 per month right now doing this business model. And he's got zero experience. But I want to say this before I go into sales training, you guys shouldn't listen to me unless I have experience, right? You guys shouldn't listen to me unless I know what I'm talking about. So I want to let you know, I know what I'm talking about. I took a sales job. The first job I ever had was in 2013. I started selling door-to-door. I sold door-to-door home secured. I did that in 2013, in 2014, in 2015, in 2016. In 2016, I started a software company. I bought a program to teach me how to do SEO, to teach me about rank and rent. I got a couple deals, okay? Then I started a software company because I thought that was cooler. And guess what? I went and I actually got clients. I had 5, maybe it was 6. I had 5 or 6 clients of this software that, by the way, this isn't like $500 a month. These are like multiple $1,000 per month deals. I got multiple clients and I pre-sold it. There was nothing to show. There wasn't a screen to show. There was nothing. I sold an idea. I pre-sold an idea because I was waiting for the software. And what else do you do? Okay. Then I got into SEO because I was like, oh crap, I'm not making money. So I started selling SEO. So I've sold SEO. Then I started selling social media management. Then I started selling websites. Then I started selling lead generation. I started doing pre-selling and I scaled up to $100,000 a month. And now I have a program. So we're selling coaching. Guys, I've sold a lot of things. So I'm going to tell you about objections and you should listen up. Okay. I'm going to teach you this technique and I've talked about it. I've touched on it in some other videos, but I want to teach you about the technique of the tie down. Okay. The tie down. And here's how it works, okay? A lot of times we get an objection. Let's say we get to the end, we ask for the deal, we do an assumption close. Hey, Mr. Business Owner or Mrs. Business Owner, sounds good. Just need to grab your credit card, or you an Amex or Visa. Boom. And they say, ha, 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 that's funny, Nick. That's funny, Joe. Yeah, I'm gonna need to X. I need to think about it. Or, the money's too much, or whatever, right? They spit something out. Or can I get back to you on Monday? Or great presentation, Nick. Can you give me your card? I used to get that shit all the time. It used to just fire me up. We get some kind of objection. And what a lot of us do is we immediately just jump in and try to overcome it, right? We start spitting, okay? First of all, we don't even know if that's the real objection. Secondly, we don't know if that's the only objection. And thirdly, if you just try and be combative, you're going to lose. Okay. So you're doing 3 things wrong right off the bat. So, and I had this conversation with one of my sales guys, literally just this morning, actually. We talked about it last Friday. We talked about it again this morning. And I told him, I said, dude, let's not assume that as soon as somebody objects that it's price, right? I think a lot of times we think that it's price or that it's contract. It's usually the objection that we would have. So let's not just assume that it's price and start throwing down different options. Like, let's see what it is. And I reminded him, I said, dude, here's what you do. And I'm going to give you guys a step. So here's the formula of what you need to do is you need to, the first step with overcoming objections is you need to tie them down. That's what I want to talk about in this video. So here's what I would do is I would say, I'd let them talk and they'd go, okay, yeah, I just don't know. Like, I got to think about the price. I got to look at the budget and see if this is going to fit in, which is absolute bullshit, by the way. Of course they already know the budget, right? It's such a bad objection. But anyway, let's say they said that, right? So here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to go, okay, yeah, I get it, man. I get it. And then here's the key. Besides, Mr. Business Owner, Mrs. Business Owner, besides you checking the budget, state it in their own words, besides you checking the budget and making sure the price fits within the budget, as you put it, is there any other reason that this doesn't make 100% sense? Is there any other reason why this doesn't make sense? We couldn't move forward today besides just like checking the budget. That's it. And it doesn't matter what the objection. Besides you talking to your partner, who you never told me you had until 5 seconds ago, just kidding. And besides you talking to your partner, is there any other thing that would be holding you back from moving forward? Like, are you good to go besides talking to your partner? Yes or no? The reason why we do this, and we want to dig out any other objections, because sometimes they told us some BS objection and they're like, well, yeah, I got to talk to my partner, but also like, I'm not feeling that contract, dude. And I'm like, okay, now we're getting somewhere. Okay. So then if they say another one, okay, besides talking to your partner and the contract, anything else? Just those two things. Okay, cool. That's easy. Let's talk about it. And now we start going in. And then what you want to do, the next step is you want to actually figure out what about it. What about the contract? Have you been burned in the past? What scares you? Are you scared that you're not going to close? Are you scared that I'm not going to fulfill? Do you not trust me? Like, is it not enough that I've sent you 3 or 4? You have to dig into, once you've tied them down, right? And this is how I think about it, right? I've heard the objection of windows as well, right? Every time there's all these windows open in a house, in order to get the deal, you need to close all the windows. And so what you do is you start shutting windows, right? And you start making sure that it's just that window that's open that you need to close. So the tie down is the first step. As I picture it, like I'm tying them, I'm kind of like pushing them in a corner of like, okay, so it's just that one thing. That's it, right? That's all we got to deal with. Everything else is a yes. And once you can get, and they can say yes, now we can start going to work on overcoming this objection. We can go and we can start using some of our other strategies. We can use our feel, felt, found strategy, et cetera, which I don't have time to go to in this video. But step number 1, when you get an objection, is you have to tie them down. You have to isolate that objection to make sure it is really the objection. It's the only objection. And what about that thing is holding you up? Okay, you said price. Is it the amount? Or is it the fact that it comes out all at once? Because a lot of times they say price and we're like, oh, well, let me try and lower it. No. What if they just don't have that amount of money right now? They're embarrassed to tell you. And if you split it up over 4 payments, you'd be good to go, right? We jump in, we assume when you know what assumption does, right? It makes an ass. What is it? Assuming makes an ass out of you and me. Is that what it is? I think that's the little phrase I always hear, right? Yeah, assume. Exactly. That's a funny joke, by the way. Haha. Guys, I've been doing sales a long time. It doesn't matter if you're selling software, you're selling SEO, you're selling social media management, you're selling merchandise, you're selling swag, you're selling lead generation. You're going to be using a tie down. Again, now as I've explained this, you're like, shit, much easier to just go and eliminate the objection instead of having to overcome them, because eliminating the objection takes 2 seconds and you get to control it on your turf. Whereas overcoming the objection, you have to go through the whole thing and figure out if that's the objection, et cetera. So this is why I'm so big on eliminating. However, we're human. We make mistakes. We forget. And it's the reality. And when you make that mistake and you're like, oh, crap, I forgot to bring up the contract, or I forgot to make sure their spouse or their partner was on, now we go into overcoming objection mode. And step number 1 with objection overcoming is the tie down. Guys, take it or leave it. I've been doing this a long time. Go try it for yourself.